If you're a truck driver who's been hurt on the job, you probably have more choices than you think about where to have your case heard, and that can make all the difference in the world. My name is Barry Doyle, and I'm a lawyer in Chicago who represents truck drivers who have been hurt in on-the-job accidents. Workers' comp is a question of state law, and every state's workers' compensation law is going to look a little different, and where you have your case heard can make a huge difference in terms of the amount of money you get and how your medical care is handled. Believe it or not, truck drivers often have a choice as to where their case will be heard. I'll explain. Jurisdiction is the term for the legal concept which determines whether a case can be heard in a given state. Every state defines its jurisdiction a little differently, but here are the three most common ones. 1. Where did the accident happen? 2. What's your principal place of employment? For truck drivers, that's usually your home terminal or where you're dispatched from. And 3. Where is the contract for hire form? Now, for most people, the answer to all three questions is the exact same, so they don't have a choice at all as to where their workers' comp case is heard. For example, if you work for a grocery store, usually all three are in the same place, but truck drivers, as often as not, those three are all different places, and that gives you a choice as to where your case can be heard. And the choice you make can make all the difference as to what happens with your workers' comp case. I told you earlier that every state's law looks a little different from everyone else's, and depending on how business-friendly a state is, that can really change what's available to you after an on-the-job injury. Even though every state is different, there are some basic features that are just about the same everywhere. One is a weekly check while you're off work, and the way that that's calculated and what's the max that you can get are things that vary widely from state to state. The second basic benefit you get is payment of your medical expenses, and access to quality medical care and the extent to which your employer can dictate your care are things that are going to vary from state to state. The third basic benefit that you get is a lump sum payment for a permanency associated with the injury, and whether you can get this in the amount are things that are going to vary widely from state to state. In order to make sure you're maximizing the benefits that you get after your on-the-job injury depends on making the right choice as to where your case is heard, and getting good quality legal advice is the best way to help you make that right choice as to where your case is heard. Our firm represents truck drivers who've been hurt in on-the-job accidents whose cases can be heard in Illinois, but we do offer referrals to well-qualified workers' comp lawyers throughout the country. There are no upfront fees or costs involved. I'm Barry Doyle, and I'm a lawyer in Chicago, and we're happy to help truck drivers nationwide. We can be reached by phone at 312-263-1080 or online at www.rightsofinjuredtruckers.com. Contact us after your on-the-job injury.